Okay guys, I was asked to tie a few flags for a friend, and the two flags that I'm tying, this is the first one. This is called the Ponoi Green. Now I'm going to tie the red, so I'll do the video after this. Handy wee patterns to tie. They're basically just derivatives of a butt series of flags that come from North America. But I'll just show you how to put the wee flag together. The hook in the vise is a size 10 Partridge Patriot double in silver. This boy likes them tied on silvers, so the thread I'm going to start off tying the flag with is uni thread 801 white, and that's to keep the hot butt at the back as bright as possible. So I'm just going to come in, get the thread started behind the eye of the hook, run on a few turns and remove the waist tag. Now the tag and the rib on the flag is going to be a vineyard oval silver tinsel 14. This is just a small, so take a length of this off the spool, just like the for my oval silver tinsel underneath the hook. So just catch it in with a few turns, then bring it in underneath the hook. Now I'm just going to run my thread down. I'm just going to bring the thread down until I let the bobbin go and the thread's in line with the point of the hook. Okay, and then I want to take 4 turns of the oval silver tinsel to create the tag, and on the last turn bring it up and in between the two hooks. We'll just come around with a turn to hold, then a couple of turns to secure that in, and come in and just trim away the excess of the oval silver tinsel. Now at this point we're going to put a tail on, and the tail on the fly is a black cock haggle. Now this is more like a henny cock. It's a wavy type of fibre, so I'm just going to bring out fibres from the stem, get them to line up. Just take a couple of pinches, that's what you need. Then the way I tie it in is just tie the length of the body over the back. Just come around with a pinch and loop, and a couple of tight turns to secure it in. And then we'll come in and just take the excess away, a bit of a tapered cut. Now the tag on the back is a fluorescent green. What I'm going to use is the braid floss number 12. Now I've got it on a bobbin holder. Just think it allows you to put more pressure on and makes for a better flag. So I'm just going to pull this into length, get a couple of turns in to secure it in. Then I'm going to run my thread up, just tying in the cut ends of the cock haggles and the tag of the braid floss. Just want to make a really strong flag that's going to last them. Get a couple of years out of the flag instead of one season. Tie the flags right, the flag should last. Now I'm going to run up to here. I'm going to cast this white thread off now. Trim this away. Then we'll get our braid floss and our nice fluorescent green. Now just get a nice tight turn onto the tail. Work it up about a half a dozen turns. Back down. And then just come back up again. Now, we're just keeping it tight. I'm just going to come in and just do a 2-turn whip finish. That'll hold that in place. Now you gotta protect that tag. Go through your fibres, right? You gotta protect that tag. So you can either super glue, varnish, let it dry. In this case, I'm just going to put on a wee drop of UV resin. Now I don't want too much of this stuff. Just want a wee tiny drop onto the tag, onto the braid floss. I don't want to get into my tail, so I'm just going to come in here with my needle and just spread it around. This will just help to protect the fly, make it last a wee bit longer after it's taken a few fish. And it does work, this fly. It's a good fly to have in your box. So I'm just going to come in and give us a blast with a torch. Just make sure it's all cured before you continue to tie the fly. Now, the thread we're going to finish off with is just uni thread 801 black. So we're just going to come in, get the thread started again, behind the eye, run on a few turns, remove the waist tag. Then we're going to tie in a rib on the way down, which is our oval silver tinsel in small. So let's just get another length off here of the oval silver. We'll tie this in the way down. And like I say, it's easy enough to tie. You know, just want to make sure that when you tie these type of flies, that you're tying them to last. Not them to last one or half a dozen fish, not one or two. So I'm going to bring the thread down, tied up against the glow braid floss, but the body, just black floss. I'm just going to use uni floss, just a rayon floss. So just take a length of this off, trim it away from the spool. We'll offer this up to the hook. I just want the length of the body. You just want to get your measurements so you know where you're finishing off and starting a new material off from. Right, don't do that. Don't wind on top of, sit in one spot and constantly wind your thread. Always bring your thread forward. Then we can come around with our floss. Just like to open the floss out. You can get a heavier black floss, you know, use it. Sometimes the uni floss, it's not that heavy, and heavier stuff. Now I'm just bringing my floss up, just spreading it out as I go. It's just one turn touching the other. They're not overlapping turns of this floss, because if you overlap the turns, you'll get lumps and bumps in the body. Up to there, follow it around with my thread. A couple of turns will catch that in, to secure it in. Come in and just trim away the floss. Then we'll come up with our oval silver, and you're looking 4 turns of the oval silver tinsel onto the body, nice and tight. Catch it in with your thread, 1 turn to hold, a couple of turns will secure that in. Come in, trim away the excess. Right, just going to get a bit of thread down, a couple of mil, just to give us a foundation to wind onto. Now the wing is just grey squirrel tail dyed black. So got one here, it's just grey squirrel tail dyed black. So we'll just take a pinch out for a wing. We'll trim this away from the tail. Now I'm going to stack it like the stack of squirrel tail, just to get it to line up. I think it just looks a wee bit better. You don't have to, just give us a rattle on the desk. All the tips have lined up. Like I say, you don't have to stack the squirrel tail, you can just tie it on the way it is, but I just like to stack it. Now, you want the squirrel tail to come back to meet the tips of your black cockhackle tail. So that's the measurement there. So just come in and hold. I'll trim the excess over my bin. Get the squirrel as close to the shank of the hook as you can, and then just come around with a pinch and loop, and then another nice and tight. Put one more in just to make sure that you've captured all the hair, and then tighten up onto the squirrel tail. Right, there we go. Okay, now squirrel tail has a tendency to pull out, so the best thing to do is to get a wee drop of super glue or varnish. In this case I'm using super glue. Wipe it onto the thread, and then just take the super glue down over the cut ends of the squirrel. Now what you can do is, there would be a wee bit of excess, you can just come in and wipe that away. Now on top of that, you need green crystal flash for the wing to go into the wing. This is just green crystal flash that I have. So I'm just going to offer this up to the hook, round with a turn, another turn, a couple of turns to secure. I'm going to fold this back. Now, on the original pattern, you can put the green crystal flash underneath the wing, but I'm tying it here the way that I'm being asked to tie it. And the gentleman wants the green crystal flash on top. So throat tackle, just a wee throat blue. This is just a Dr. Blue Chinese cock hackle. Just take away all the rubbish at the bottom. This is just one of the bigger feathers at the top of the cape. And then we're just going to take a couple of pinches of the blue. I want to get some good colour into the throat, so we'll talk about 4 pinches there. And you just want these coming back. You want them coming the whole way back. Just coming back and maybe touching the hat butt tag at the back. So I'm just going to hold up my finger and thumb and pinch a loop up the way and put in a couple of turns now. I just like to spin it around. Just like to spread these out the underneath the fly. Now I'm just going to keep it there a wee second, and hopefully you can still see it. Just going to come in, nice pair of sharp scissors, just remove the excess of the cock hackle. I'm just going to take my thread down nice and tight, tying these in. I'm just going to bring it back around into position to there. And I'm just going to work the thread turns back up. I'm just going to build my head up at this stage with a nice neat head on the fly, nice and tight, keeping your thread tight. Come in with your whip finishing tool and just throw in a whip finish. Now that's it. There's nothing else to the fly, and we'll just come in and trim away the thread. Now, first coat onto the head, excuse me, super glue. Then you have to seal this up with varnish, because if you don't, you'll get a white moisture bloom onto the head. So there you go, guys. So that's the Ponoi Green. Now what I'll do is, after this video, I'll tie the Ponoi Red, and you can have a look at that if you wish. But there's not much difference in the Ponoi Red, other than it has a red underwing, and the throat is just the black cock hackle, the same as the tail. But I'll show you it anyway. So look, tie a few up, and hopefully you can catch you a few fish.